Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the Western Report. Talking about the main event that was announced on SmackDown: The Rock and Roman Reigns vs. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, WrestleMania Night 1. Your instant thoughts when this was confirmed?
I thought that it was slightly unnecessary, but they've been teasing it for a couple of weeks now, so it was like it was inevitable that was going to happen. So they already announced McIntyre and 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 also with Reigns and Rhodes for night two as well for that being so I guess it was. I think it was unnecessary, but it's like it was expected because they were teasing it, so I was like, whatever type of feeling.
Okay, I also thought it wasn't needed. It was fine the way it was. It's not that I dislike Rock because I don't. I watched Rock for a long time. I just think the tag match could have took place at another event. Didn't need to be happen here. Okay, so obviously Seth and Drew has been bumped to night two. Do you feel they deserve that spot on night one?
Um, yeah, I think at that point they kind of, I think they would have. I think it would have been either it would have been either Drew or Seth or Becky and Rhea for me to who kind of would have earned the spot to be the main event of night one. If it was up to me, they would have gone back and forth to that. Also, I was expecting for one of those two matches being the main event of night one, but yeah, so that was my thought.
Okay. Do you think how can I put this? Cody hugely with the WWE audience. Do you think maybe they're they're all happy now? They're going to get to see to Cody twice, and do you think they would have took that over a separate Drew match?
I don't th- I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's like they would have been fine. Well, I don't know. I guess some of them would have been fine to see if you to see your favorite wrestler, especially if you're going to be there in person to see that person twice. That's something something you probably would not have would have expect a that. I mean, I expect
Yeah.
it would be a pleasant surprise for them, but personally, just to watch it, someone I guess I guess it depends. If you're a fan of Cody, you to see him multiple times, then you'll be happy. If you're not that big of a fan of him, then you would have been fine just to see him once to move on. So I guess it's different perspective on that.
Okay. The only reason I reckon they would have done this a night one, and this is the only reason I I can think of this. I don't know if you'll agree, and obviously we'll get into everything a little bit later on. Um, TKO, they have made a point of every pay per view means something. So by night two's always been bigger than night one, but they're doing it this year like they're both big. Like, or do you think that's not the case?
What, that both nights are big or both pay per views? What do you mean by that?
So whenever you would get WrestleMania night one and night two, people always know night two was the one where the main matches were happening, right?
Yeah.
And night one would be maybe the odd match and a bunch of others. By putting the tag match on night one, it makes night one just as big as night two because there's a lot riding on night one.
Well, sure, but lately night one has been usually better than night two. Have so that's how it's been for a while since this has done the two night thing for WrestleMania. Night one, I feel like it's a little bit better than night two, so maybe they wanna. I don't. Who knows why they wanted to do these four or these three to have two matches in one, on both nights. But I just think it's. I don't really think it was really necessary because I just think night one generally has been better than night two. So um yes, I don't know they're thinking of having the three of them wrestling twice in one weekend. So
Okay, do you think maybe that Seth and Drew on night two is going to be a lot shorter because Seth's cleared, right? Seth's cleared.
that's what they said.
Okay, so if he is actually cleared, we'll find out. But this could be a way to protect him in a tag match, and maybe his match with Drew will not be that long. Um, there was something in the segment that was said last night. I don't know if you caught it, because I know you watched it, but quite a few people are missing this detail out. So I'll just say that he said to Seth, he's also going to make him lose his title. Did you hear him say that?
Yeah.
That makes me think Seth's gonna get screwed at that title no matter what, which makes me think he might not be cleared. Do you think? I don't think they would have said that unless he was actually going to get involved. Do you think The Rock's going to be the reason for the maybe Seth losing that title?
I guess I just but I already thought that he was going to lose anyway to Drew anyway, so I didn't really think that was fully necessary to put out there.
Mhm.
Because I just had a because of the work that McIntyre has put in for himself. I just thought just in general he just would have just defeated Rollins and moved on. I don't think McIntyre needs help to in
Okay,
order to be champion. So I don't really think it was necessary to mention that. But
so I'm not saying that wasn't the plan. Obviously, if Drew stays with the company, I still think Drew's going to win. I just think they're going to have Rock involved because I just think there's no reason for The Rock to say that unless he was going
yeah,
to play a role in that match.
yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a little bit unnecessary if he because it's like because he keeps saying himself that he's that Rollins isn't really involved. It's really about Cody and Roman. That's where it kind of should stay. That's where the issue kind of lies in. I know that Rollins eject himself in this story, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a one and done thing for The Rock and Seth Rollins in terms of this tag match. So him getting involved in his match with Drew doesn't really. I don't know. I'd rather if Drew's going to win, just have him win cleanly. Just if he like kind of similar to what he did at the Elimination Chamber, but of course he can't. No one can get involved this time. He has to win it by himself this time because it's a one-on-one match, not a multi-man match. But that's the thing. McIntyre's about focusing on being champion and doesn't care about how he does it.
Okay,
So I don't know.
okay. Obviously, they were talking about how Drew hasn't re-signed with the company yet. They've taken his WrestleMania Night 1 spot away, potentially going to have The Rock involved in the match. Wouldn't this just push signing?
And then I think so. It then just takes me back to in my head and why did he even win the chamber at that point? Because if he plans on leaving, he doesn't plan on staying. I don't know why he even won the chamber. Why they're pushing him so hard in a to be all that interesting as a character if he ultimately is just going to leave at the end of it. So it's like maybe for what we said last week of if Damian Priest cashing the briefcase is exactly what they're going to end up doing, and he's and might as well just stick with that and then have a feud between like a one-time match between Priest and Seth Rollins then for the championship. Maybe that's going to be the ultimate goal is having of what we said last week of Priest ultimately being the world heavyweight champion at the end of it if
Yeah,
McIntyre refused to resign, which is really bizarre, but
yeah, which is actually uh goes in line with what we were saying, as you just said. The Rock could be the reason for Seth to lose, for Priest to cash in. Which again, Drew losing at this point isn't really what I thought, but just the way they're doing things, either it's all just a mess and it will all come together in the end, or either the plans keep changing. It could be either. Okay, the segment last night then, on SmackDown. What did you actually think of that segment?
I thought it was fine for what it was. I like the intensity that Seth finally gave. I like when Seth is more serious and not acting like a goofball. And it needs to stop dressing like one too. But because when Seth is serious, he's interesting. And
Yeah.
so I like that. I like that aspect of Seth's seriousness. Him being more serious, and I also like the intensity off of Cody Rhodes as well. So I liked how intense and serious that both of them got, but mainly Seth. And hopefully, he can start wearing some real clothes to stop wearing these crazy clothes coming out. So, but because overall, I thought it was good for the delivery. I think now suddenly start coming out with some better clothes on, but I don't know if that's gonna happen or not.
It's funny when he came through the crowd. Uh, Originally I thought he was gonna have Shield gear on, but he just had his normal clothes, which I thought totally didn't fit the occasion. But I think he did save himself because up until now, Seth hasn't really been a factor in this feud because he got serious last night. Now we're talking more about Seth involvement, right? So I
Or
I think
Seth was just an
yeah,
afterthought and stuff now.
but not after last night. I don't think after last night.
Right.
Okay, in regards to how he got serious, it seemed like he truly meant it. Like he really doesn't want someone else to come and take his spot or their spot, which is what's happening. Um, I believe they did the segment perfect. I thought it was really well done. Reigns didn't look too weak next to The Rock on this time. Cody looked good. Um, they mentioned the dad, obviously, again. I don't think they're going to stop that. I,
Yeah.
I think, I mean, every time he's about to cry, whenever they do it, I mean, it's every single time. But
Yeah,
again,
I don't get it.
he I mean, a few times, yeah, but every single time, I don't get it. Okay, fine. But when the segment was set and done, I was more excited for this tag match. Even though we're going to dig deep into it, um, at that point, I was excited. And then afterwards is when you start having these thoughts about people bumped out of the match and all that sort of stuff. So originally, I know you said it's unnecessary, but are you excited we're going to get it, or you just not bothered?
I'm not really fully all that interested. I'm just I know it's a tag match. We still have to rock in a match. I know it's gonna be protected, but it's just I wasn't clamoring of a Rock match anymore at this point. So I was like, ugh. So I know the match is going to be carried by the three of them, and that's fine. I'm just not I'm not emotionally invested, and that my interest level is very low for this match because like I said, it was up to me. They just would have just stayed with the same with Rhodes and Reigns and McIntyre and Seth, and I would have been satisfied with that. And this tag match to me is just not mostly invested into it because I don't really care really about it.
I mean, they could have done this tag match Backlash. It could have been the main event of Backlash, and I would have been okay with it. Um,
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, I mean, I'm sure. I guess I think just for me, just as in general, yeah. Of it's and also too, all of them going to be champions. I don't like seeing the champion in a tag match where they're not defending the belt. I don't like that either. So maybe if I had to go to a different if it had to be either WrestleMania or Backlash, or rather it be a WrestleMania because at least the champions will still defend their championships the next night. So I guess that's fine. I'd rather it be a WrestleMania than at Backlash when it's just only them in a tag match and no one's defending their belt. No, I don't like that. So if I had to
okay,
pick it
fine.
up, pick one, it would be WrestleMania.
Okay, well, what do you actually think is going to happen in this tag match?
Um, well, it comes down to if Rock win, that they can interfere in there's no rules in the match with Cody Rhodes. So that's why I honestly think it's going to end up happening, because they like to have, because they want to have adversity of Cody Rhodes, but if he is going to win the championship, that's just how it's going to end up happening. Is if he has a lot of interference, kind of like last year, but then with a different outcome with him winning. So I think that's going to be how it will work. Now it will be interesting if see, I don't know, because I don't see, or maybe because I don't know. I can see if the babyface does win, maybe Seth will pin the Rock. Let's say maybe that's what they'll do, and then it could just be and then it could be a regular singles match, so like how I would like, I prefer, and then that's how Rhodes will win that too, because Reigns would be so terrified and weirded out to defend the championship by himself, because he hasn't done that in a long time. So I guess they could go either way, but I think based off of adversity, I think they will go with the heels winning the tag match.
Okay, I just want to go back to something you said before I go back to the heels. You said Seth pinning Rock, which, to be honest, that didn't even cross my mind. But that would open up the opportunity for Rock to screw Seth, because he won't be able to screw Cody then, right?
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, I didn't think of that. Do you think maybe there is a chance Seth does pin Rock?
It would be possible. It'd be not as possible. People will be shocked by that. It'd be very similar to when Jey Uso pinned Roman Reigns. No one expected that. So in their tag team match at Money in the Bank. So yeah, I think out of possibility,
Yeah.
I think that's what may end up happening, probably, and that'll be a big shock for a lot of people. Like, oh, that Rollins pinned The Rock. I'd expect that type of thing. So that could happen.
Because hear me out a second, right? 3 of the 4 men are in matches the next night. So
Right.
would it be best to keep them all strong rather than have one lose?
Uh,
I mean pinned. I
yeah,
mean
I think,
pinned.
yeah, I mean, if it was me, they would just pin The Rock, because The Rock doesn't have a match the next night, and he just and everyone and all 3 of them should be protected, because they're already in a championship match the next night. So are you really gonna sacrifice both champions and the challenger to a loss, to a pinfall? I think that would be a little make the next night a little bit for them coming in very weak.
Okay, so originally I made a YouTube video today before a couple of hours before this podcast has been recorded, and originally, so this before we talked, I said The Rock pins Cody, and I know that goes against what I'm saying here a little bit. It's because you got me thinking, but if he pins Cody, the story still probably will end well for Cody, but I still think he shouldn't go in looking weak. So I say have The Rock take the pin. Um, you could have Cody pin. I mean, do you think Cody? But the thing is, I don't know, because I think Seth's getting screwed by The Rock. So I think you have to have Seth pin him. But what if Cody was to pin him? Do you think that would make him look believable to actually beat Roman, or do you think he already looks believable?
I think that they need to start having someone else pin the good, because I think back to when he was in War Games, he's the one who pinned whoever it was. JD McDonough once for any order to hit the RKO. I think Randy should have gotten that pinfall, but he gave it to Cody for no reason. So I
Yeah.
think if Seth, I think Seth should take the pinfall on The Rock, and leave Cody Rhodes to pin Roman Reigns later. Just don't do. I wouldn't have Cody Rhodes be the victor. And that would I'd rather it be Seth.
Okay. What about a long shot then? What if Roman's pinned? None of the other guys, Roman.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they I think if they end up pinning Roman Reigns night one, and then if it ends up night two, if he wins at this, I don't know. Will he fathom having him be pinned twice on the same in 2 nights? I don't know. That's going to be and I don't know if I don't think they will want that too. They will want that visual of the first pinfall. Well, they already did it last year for Jey Uso. So, uh, yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I think it's just I don't know.
I'm thinking different to you. I'm not suggesting Reigns gets pinned both nights. I'm saying he gets pinned the first night and he wins the second night because I got a feeling Roman's still going to walk out the winner of the singles match, regardless. I've said that from the beginning to you. I know I've said it last year when we
Yeah.
weren't talking either. Um, I don't know. Do you think if Roman is planned to win that second match, do you think that maybe he should take the pin on the first one?
Um. Sure. I'm just having a hard time to believe Reigns getting pinned again in a tag team match situation, and I don't know if it's hard because I don't think I see it. This is why I was so this is why I was down doing I wasn't excited about this match because someone's gonna have to take the pinfall, and do you really, and it's like going into their, that's why I think maybe the Rock doesn't want to take the pin because he doesn't have a match the next night. So
Yeah, I still
um
we're going to see the Rock the next night though. Whether it be in Seth's match
sure, but at least
or
he's not in a match though. But that's the thing. That's
yeah,
fine. I'm just saying he doesn't have a match though scheduled. So
you're right. You're right. He doesn't have a match scheduled, and again, we did that entire podcast about how Priest can be involved, uh, and now it's like how the Rock can be involved. Okay, let's say then, let's say, let me ask you the question then: should Rock stay away from night two? Say if he has this match, Cody wins. Should he stay away altogether on night two then? Or do you think we're still going to see him do something?
I think he should stay away. If if the baby faces win, they should just have him stay away. Or even if the heels win, I still think he should stay away because it's not about The Rock really. Should be focusing about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. You can't you don't want to have it so much interference where it takes away from Cody's moment because Cody's gonna have to be the one to hit Roman Reigns with a finish. He's the one who hits Roman Reigns with a finish. Have him take the pinfall and don't, because if they're gonna have Cody Rhodes win because of The Rock or because of someone interfering, that's gonna take away from his moment. People gonna think it's a Tatum win because he won, sure, but it wasn't because of Cody Rhodes because he got helped by someone. I think that's what people
Yeah.
don't want. Is Cody Rhodes needing help in order to win the match against Roman. I think that's where people's mindset is at. I think he should just pin Roman Reigns by himself without anyone interfering, but or getting
But
involved in the or being the and be the factor of the reason for him to win because of this person. That's why Rhodes won. That's what people don't want, but we'll
yeah.
see.
but but
But
you said it.
my thought though, I'm sorry, one more thing.
Yeah.
My thought is that he still walks out as champion. So why are you complaining? So that'll be my thought. But whatever. Go ahead.
So it just tie into a little bit what you're saying. You said it actually right at the start of the podcast. It would be, well, maybe not in these exact words, so correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't it look better overall if the Bloodline did get involved and Cody overcame everybody rather than
Yeah,
a
yeah.
straight singles
That
win?
seems Yeah, that just seems like what something they'll do with their baby faces usually when it's something like that added to WrestleMania where a lot of people get involved and he overcomes the outcome and then he walks out as champion and he overcomes everything. He dishes out everything and he still finds a way to walk out as champion. So that's really a big possibility.
Okay. There is one thing which I feel that could ruin Cody's moment. And I think it is, as we're saying, the bloodline get involved. Cody overcomes everyone, but The Rock then screws Roman. Does that take everything away from Cody if that happens?
I think so. I just think if I was a Cody Rhodes fan and I was saying that and then he lost last year and I really want him to be the champion, I would want Cody Rhodes to be the one to pin Roman Reigns cleanly and not have anyone interfere and be like, well, I'm like, sure, he's champion, that's all well and good, but there's still a lot of interference in that match. I just didn't, you think back to every other person who won their match at WrestleMania, just in general, it was really cleanly, whether they were heel or not. Think about to Rhea, Seth, Reigns himself. So I mean,
Okay.
we'll never won a WrestleMania, but you know what I mean.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. I just want to move it back to night one a second. I know we're talking about interference quite a lot here, right? Uh,
Yeah,
every match it seems to be the possibility of interference. Now, what it seems to me like they're putting a sandwich together and they're putting everything in these sandwiches that it might become too much. Do you think they might throw in a cash in during that tag match?
possibly. That'd be fascinating to do, and then maybe that would be yeah, that's what that could be a thing, and then night two it could end up being a triple threat match
Yeah, it
because
could.
Drew still has his championship match. Rollins has so maybe that's a way to have Rollins to do two matches and win one if they just have if they lose the cap. But that's interesting because I was as I'm thinking about that. Huh. Well, yeah. You know what? And if Drew's gonna is not gonna resign, yeah, I feel like that seems like a better option to do. And then it could be a big moment for Damian Priest, and he could just walk. He could be the first night on Raw, him as champion after people not expecting him to cash in night one and have him be champion at all. He's the one to be ultimately be champion after WrestleMania is over with. Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
idea actually.
So I mean, I was just thinking, with all those four stars in the ring, Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth, I think that would be the perfect moment to do it. Um, I think whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna end night one in a bang. Um, but Damian Priest being the champ with that night ending, I think nobody's expecting, right?
Yeah, that'll be a big
I
show.
can't, yeah, it'd be a massive shock. I can't think of anything to top that. Uh, unless probably, I mean, I don't know, Seth pinning Rock or Rock getting pinned at all, which might be an equivalent shock. Um, I don't know. This is where this match can go so many ways, and then Damian Priest is in port. Uh, I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to go. But going back to the actual tag match, I am excited for it, but I don't think they're going to give it very long because I don't think they're going to want to risk injury or any of that sort of stuff because night two relies heavily on these stars staying well or night two's
Right.
messed up, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're just going to get less than probably 12 to 13 minutes of this tag match after entrances. We'll talk about the
Sure.
entrances in a second. How long do you think the match is going to get after entrances?
Yeah, probably so. It should be shorter. That was the beginning of the show. Whatever matches are going to be the beginning of WrestleMania Saturday should be a lot. Those matches should be a lot longer, so that they'll have their time of having a lot some long decent matches at the beginning of the show and all that stuff. So, and then by the time it's the main event of night one, it could be kind of shorter so that they can risk injury and or not risk injury and have it just go off without a hitch without anyone getting massively hurt because they have matches the next night. So,
Okay, something
or
else. Sorry, carry on.
I would just say just for the sake of the rest of the roster who has matches on Saturday, I don't want them to have short. I don't want their matches to be shorter in the sacrifice of having the tag match to go even longer, and because they have shortened all the rest of the show earlier on in the pay per view. I don't want to see that. So
See,
for
that's my concern. We're just talking about. This actually just tie into what we're talking. This is the bit I was going to get onto, right?
yeah,
And it ties into what you're saying. So the reason I said the match being 13 minutes and I didn't include the entrances because entrances alone might take a lot of time.
right.
Depending if they give away the big entrances on night one, then that is going to take time away from the other members of the roster, which I say don't do any big entrance for night one, do them all on night two. Um, when you talked about time getting taken away from other talents, did you think about how long the entrances could be?
I think the entrance is going to be long, depending on who it is. I think like Rhea Ripley, I think the entrance is going to be long. Becky Lynch, I could see they could have a special entrance for her for the first time, maybe, or even and then who else is even there? I guess if they're going to do some type of, they could have Gunther night one. Let's say I don't. I'm sure that entrance is going to be pretty short. I guess it depends of
But
how big of the star who
point
is
point
going to be at night one.
the point I'm trying to make is they're gonna have to cut things out from certain areas, and I think they will cut
Sure.
things out and give it all to the main event of night one. I think The Rock is going to have a massive entrance. That entrance might take some time. Even Reigns' entrance takes time in general. Um,
Yeah.
do these things need to be speeded up on night one?
I hope not. I just hope it gets they'll I just hope that everyone will get a good amount of time and their matches won't be rushed because they're I just hope that everything should not rely on Roman Reigns all the time. We got to focus on other people on the show, and something like WrestleMania where you have these people get their moment of having a long decent match, some decent some good some enough time to
But,
get their match in both
but,
nights. So
but okay, I think though they are going to give that time to night one. I think they're going to do the entrances. I think they're even going to, when they introduce their names when they're in the ring.
right.
that they're even gonna do that, and I think that's gonna take up a bulk of time. Just that alone, right? Or do you think I'm over exaggerating it?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends, with those entrances, especially some places like WrestleMania, they like go all out for it. But if it's, I just feel like if it's the main event, I just feel like it's just they just need. I don't know. I just hope that everyone will get their time and moment entrances and the match length itself enough ample enough amount of time where then because you don't want to go into WrestleMania where every match is for like 5 seconds and then it's like saying the hell to everyone else. We only care about this tag match and we don't care and we really want to hurry up and get these matches done and over with because we only care about the tag match only and everyone else we don't care about. I don't want that type of feeling. So hopefully
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that's just what I don't want to see.
Okay. Now this is obviously WrestleMania should be about every match, right? It shouldn't just be about that one match. Night 2, I get it.
Yeah,
Night 1, I don't think it should be. But now Cody Crybabies, as The Rock called them, I think they won't care about any other match. They just care about the 2 Cody matches, right?
sure.
That's it. Cody this and Cody that. Do you think by Cody fans being so strong and deeply emotional that that maybe that's why WWE gave him twice?
Well, sure. I just don't. I just think just because there's people who are fans of Cody Rhodes, other people they're fans that there are other people who are fans of multiple people beyond Cody. So is that going to be just about? I'm sure there's a lot of them are going to be excited about Becky and Rhea and about every other match that's going to happen. Whoever Gunther's going to face, I'm sure people are going to be excited about those matches as well. Earlier in the night, not just about Cody Rhodes only, and even also on night 2 as well. People are excited about Bailey and EL, and people are excited about there's people going to be excited about every other match that's going to happen on the show beyond Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
I think.
No, I agree with you. I think that's other things, and you're right. I'm tying down to Cody fans as just Cody, but it's not. They probably like a range of wrestlers, and they just like Cody probably a bit more. Okay, if Cody gets pinned, I know we spoke about this already a little bit. Well, on night 1, how do you think the Cody crybabies are going to react?
Say may say like, oh, this again is gonna happen in night 2. He has to win a night 2, right? Because you can't just lose. They can't fathom having to lose twice. Can they? They could, but maybe they'll just have a scare night 1, and then have him win the title night 2, and then they'll move on, and they'll be excited because he walked out as champion. So that's but yeah, I don't know. I just think I think ultimately my thought in all of this is that at the end of the day, Cody Rhodes should be champion, because I don't want to keep seeing this all over again to keep on. If Cody Rhodes is the guy that WWE is framing that he is, just give him the belt. Let's see how he does as champion, and if he fails, then he fails. If you saying he's the guy, give him the championship and let's see how he does. Don't do the exact same thing last year like he did this year. Just don't. I just think it'll be a waste. It'll be wasted. It'll be a waste of my time getting
Yeah.
not really invested, but just by having weeks and weeks and months to tell me this is going to be happening, and yet it doesn't happen.
But this reminds me of last year where everyone thought Cody was going to win. Then, like you said, he has to win, and he didn't, right?
Yeah, even that. Yeah, I was like, why does he have to win? That was my thought too. Even then, it was like, why does he have to win here too? Just because you say so? That's the other. Yeah. So I don't know, but I just
Okay,
think, but my thought, I'm just saying that WWE is pushing him to be that top star, and it's like I'm saying it to WWE. If you're telling me he is the guy again, let's give him the belt and let's see how he does. But if not, don't ever put him in this spot ever again. Just like what The Rock said. If he loses, he should never be going after a champion ever again. That's what
yeah.
he said. So
The bit that I think they're doing right, they're making it clear. Uh, Story's finished if he doesn't win, and even Roman saying, that's it. No more title matches, and rightfully so. If Cody
yeah,
doesn't win this, be done with it. Um, I personally still don't think Cody's going to win. I think you think he does. Uh,
I
okay.
think the only reason why I
Yeah,
say that
yeah,
is because, again, like I said before, that I need to see some new storylines involving the championship on SmackDown or whatever, or wherever the Universal Champion is going to be going, before the Netflix deal or whatever. So we need some new chat, because again, what are you going to do with these people on SmackDown if the champion isn't there weekly like how it kind of should be? So it's just alphabet for the rest of the people on the show. That's the only reason why I'm saying Cody Rhodes should be champion. So that's why the only reason why I'm advocating for Rhodes to be champion, because there'll be new storylines headed for the championship involved with a full time champion.
okay. I agree. I agree with you. I think Once this is done, to be done with it. I do think Reigns should still be the guy, but I agree we need fresh storylines and things also. Okay, match quality of the tag match. What you thinking of when you think of just the match quality alone?
Think it'll be okay. I'll be shocked if it'll be if it ends up being like great, but I'll say it'll be pretty good because of the three of them. Because I'm not again I'm not confident in The Rock, but I know how good Rhodes, Reigns, and Rollins are in the ring. So I think it'll be good. It'll be watchable. I so I'll say that it'll for me it'll be watchable because I know how good the three of them are. So I'll say at
Okay,
least good.
I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be watchable, like you're saying, but I don't think. I don't. Okay, I don't see how they can give everything and then go and give it a night two. I think it's gonna take away. I think
That's
we're
true.
not.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I think we're not gonna get everything. But the way these performers are, they will give everything. And I think you should be doing that on night one if you got night two. Okay, someone we missed out, Drew. Now we haven't missed him out in his one-on-one match. We missed him out of his involvement in this tag match. We mentioned Priest, who is even less likely than Drew. Do you think Drew might play a role in this tag match?
I'll be shocked if he does. I'll be like, I don't know why he would care neither. I mean, he's the one who was advocating of saying to staff, "Why do you care?" Type of feeling, and it's like if and then I don't know why he wants him at 100%. At the end of the day, he's still gonna go in. He's probably gonna win the championship anyway. And you just you so I know he kind of want him to stay focused, but with to the world with the world heavyweight championship itself. But clearly, that's not what's happening, and so I just think he just might as well just accept, just continue on focusing on himself and him being champion.
Okay, in regards of this entire story of the bloodline, Cody, Seth, I don't think it's done. I think whatever happens, more matches are going to come from this, which we're probably going to see over the course of the year. But then it will lead to a massive, massive main event next year, which will probably be Rock and Cody. Do you think Rock and Cody could be an end result of this, or even Rock or Reigns? And I'm heavily referring to that Netflix deal because that's the time where I think this story we're going to see round two of the storyline. Or do you think it actually is done?
I want it to be done for Cody at that point. I think Cody needs to move on to feuding with someone else. He's been ever since he came back to the company. He's been feuding with Seth Rollins, and he got hurt. Then he came back. His only feud was with Roman Reigns. I need Cody Rhodes to start feuding with other people to get him going to see how he does as a feuding with different people. So for Cody Rhodes, he needs to move on. This should be it for him. Feuding with everyone involved with Roman and with Seth. No more bloodline stuff. No more Seth interactions neither. Let Cody Rhodes move on to someone else and see how he does feud with other people. That's what I would personally want to see for
I
Cody.
mean, if Cody's not to win, and we both don't want him to win, right? Because we don't think he's the guy like say Roman, in my opinion, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think if Cody was to lose, he could still have a very nice role in the company. He could be a top mid carder and main event the occasional shows. Say if they need somebody, but he should really work mid card after this, and he can work some solid matches. He can give some really good feuds, and when they need him in the main event, like a six-way match, Chamber, they want to have someone there, add him in. But I say do the mid card, and that might fit him nicely. He'll be a very good mid carder. I don't think he
Sure.
should
But
be.
I just think I agree, but I just think this again, just the way he's been positioned in the company since he came back to WWE, they're saying he's the guy, and people are just And I don't know if it's because of his theme song or what people think he is. I think it's really because of his theme song. His theme song is very catchy and it's super over. And I think that's why they want him to be the champion, because they like his theme song and they think he's the and the way he's been positioned and how he's been framed on television, how the people take it to him, are saying that this is the guy who needs to be the champion, and for him to be again, goes back to him winning the Royal Rumble again twice, 2 years in a row,
Yeah.
and facing the same guy at WrestleMania twice, 2 years in a row. Just if he's the guy, just give it to him. Let's move on. Let's see how he does. If he fails, then he fails. If he succeeds, then I was wrong.
Okay, so
So
let's just move it back slightly, right? So, and this is just go back to Cody a little bit. I don't
all
think
right,
Cody was ever scheduled to even work with Roman. I think it was going to be The Rock, and I think they were going to just have Cody lose at the Chamber in a one-on-one match. Not in a one-on-one match, sorry. Cody was going to win Chamber and take on Seth. I don't think they were even going to give him the title. The only reason they've done it is because everyone started moaning. And when Cody won the Rumble, everyone just assumed he was going to take on Roman. I mean, look back at the plans. Cody introduced The Rock to take on Roman. So I don't think the company were even going to get behind him. Do you think they've been forced to get behind him?
that what the people are getting forced to get behind Cody.
The company, have they been forced to get behind Cody?
I don't know. I mean, I think back to I think it's think back to last year. I just think with the I don't know. It's so hard because they've the company has framed him to be the face. He's on the cover, not only on the video game, but just before that, he's been the way he's promoted all over Raw. He's advertised for Raw every single time I go check the events that are going to be on in the next couple of months for Raw. In general, his face is front and center. He's like the first person advertised to be on the show. He's on the face of these pay-per-views right away. When he first announced, they first come up with the poster. It's not their official poster, but they first come up with it. His face is on there, and it's like they're pushing him to be pushing to be John Cena. That's what WWE is doing.
Basically,
So,
yeah,
and they
basically.
won't stop.
Okay, let's say then, if Roman wins, I think people start crying again until Cody gets it. So it might be best just to give it him, like you said, right?
Right? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what are we gonna get? We're gonna get promos every single week. I did this for my dad. I mean, do you think it's gonna do that quite regular?
I hope not, but maybe so. I don't know. I hope not, but I think they may do that, and then maybe he'll finally start. Then maybe if he may do that in the beginning, then he won't do that every single week. He do that probably in the beginning, but not every week. Hopefully, anyway. I don't
Okay,
know.
so
It's hard. I don't know.
I think if he does get that title within 6 months, everyone's gonna realize maybe this guy shouldn't be the champ,
Yeah,
and
probably.
then he will also be done. I think once he loses that title, he's never gonna get near it again. I think.
That'd be fine with me.
Yeah, but the thing is, we do see eye to eye a little bit on it. And I know a lot of people don't see it, but I think give it 6 months, people will find out, and he'll get the second best title. In my opinion, it is the second best, which is the Raw title. I know some people will say it's just as equivalent, but I don't think it is.
Yeah,
And it
because
probably
it's not. Because to me, it's this Cody Rhodes is not the same how I view someone like Becky Lynch, or even how I view even Roman Reigns, or how I view Rhea Ripley. But they, or even Bianca Belair. They were, because they were framed and presented well, but they were kind of forced down our throats. But we wanted it. We want to see these people be the champion. We want to see these people be champion for a very long time, and they have been. And so I don't really talk about the women in particular here about that, but when it comes to those women in particular, those three in Bianca, Rhea, and Becky. They want to be champions that they have been, and they're successful, and people still like them to say currently. They didn't turn on them. So it's very but it'd be very different with Cody, where it's like they've been pushing down in his throat all this time. And look, I'm still surprised this guy is super over. I would have been really fascinated if he just didn't have that theme song. That he had a whole different theme song. It wasn't the world theme song. Well, would he be in the same position that he is and now if he had a different theme song? I doubt it. So that's where it comes down to, right? It's his theme song.
I
That's
think
why he's
it's
super over.
themes has got a lot to do with it. I do think I'm not against Cody. I do think he's a great talent. I think he's a great addition
Sure.
to the. He's a great addition to the company. He just shouldn't be in the main event. That's all. Um, but not every wrestler's made to be in the main event, and they have fantastic careers. It's like earlier on, I messaged you about WWE 2K, right? The video,
Right. Yeah.
uh, and if you look in like those games, they got legends, and some of them were nowhere near the world title, but they're still a legend, right?
Yeah.
And I think Cody could be like that. He could become a legend and not have the title, and he could be a legendary mid carder. Originally, when I first said mid carder, and I know you, it was on X, and people thought we lost the plot because we said he should be a mid carder. But isn't that everything Cody's already been? He's always been a mid carder. He's
Yeah,
been
but
given
I think people are just ready for him to be the main. I just think people are just ready for him to get his moment to be in the main event type of feeling. Maybe because a lot of people watched him in AEW and they thought, or but you said that his run was terrible there. So it's like I don't. So and I guess for and I don't know. I have no idea why this guy is super over. I don't know why, because if what you're saying is true about Cody Rhodes, about the way he was presented at AEW, that people didn't care for him at all there, but then they like him over here. They want he's getting he's mega over. He's getting big reactions. They want this guy to be the champion for whatever reason, because his father never did. It just seems very bizarre to me. It kind of seems very backwards if you're saying if he was super not taken well at AEW, but he's being super receptive and super popular in WWE. So I don't get it. I don't know what the why is it so different type of thing. I don't know. So it's something I may never understand. But yeah, I don't know.
So if you go back, obviously I know you don't watch AEW. I did watch it at this point. Now Cody was over first, but if you look at him towards the end of that company, look at his final few months, right? If you want to search up, it's up to you, right? Um,
Yeah.
I don't think you will,
I
because
mean,
AEW.
I've heard that they said that every time he was there, they didn't like what he was doing over there. So it was like,
Yeah.
so then my thought was then why is he even back then? Why are people getting why are people behind this guy? If some that watch AEW who are in this now a lot of people who goes to WWE shows don't watch AEW as well, but I guess I'm thinking to the podcasters, then why are you so hyped for him to be the champion so badly? To the point
I just
if you don't like his run in AEW, why you care about his run in WWE now? So that's why I don't get by those by these podcasters, I guess, if he was
I
so
think
terrible.
okay, I think there's a different set of fans, right? I'll describe them. The AEW fans that were against him are getting behind him because they want an AEW guy to dethrone Roman, even though he was a WWE guy before AEW, right?
Yeah,
Now, that's one part of it. I think they want that to happen. The other part of it, there's going to be a lot of people that liked Cody, but they never followed him once he left WWE, and they're just happy he's back. And they're behind him. Maybe they were Cody guys before, and now they're bigger Cody fans, right? Though
sure.
those are the ones I accept. You know, the ones are just glad he's back. That didn't see him in AEW, but I would say it's AEW diehards that are pushing it But AEW's fan base is not big enough compared to WWE, and Cody is getting strong reactions everywhere he goes, whether we like it or not, right?
Yeah.
And I don't get it. I personally don't get it. But what I'm comparing Cody to is something that happened last year. It's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn when they won the titles. After that, within 6 months, they got boring as shit, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think,
We're doing
and
anything with them as champions.
yeah, nothing. It's absolutely boring. They ended this run of the Usos and nothing came from it, which is the same thing that I think is going to happen with Roman. Now, I do think Cody, if he wins, he will stay popular while The Rock's working with him. Because I think The Rock and Cody feud is going to is going to spill over, right? I don't know what show, but it's going to spill over. And they might even do it till WrestleMania next year, but that's when Cody stays popular. The minute he stops working with The Rock, that's when his popularity is going to drop, in my opinion.
Sure. I hope he doesn't. I hope The Rock is done with it with Cody itself. I don't want him to be. I'm ready for Cody to start feuding with other people. I want him to start feuding with Roman Reigns. I want him to start feuding with. I mean, Randy Orton. I want him to start feuding with uh, you know, at some point Braun Breaker or whoever they're gonna start building up the rest of these people. AJ Styles. I want him to start feuding with people currently on the roster that's there. So that's what I would want. I'll be what I've invested in at that point. So that's what I
Okay,
want.
so
But
I think you're going to get Cody work with everybody, right? And
sure.
when I say everybody, some people might say there isn't enough pay-per-views for everyone. There isn't. But he's going to be doing a lot of weekly show matches. I think he's
Right.
going to. The reason Seth never did it because Seth's hurt. Like Seth slowed down because we found out he got injured. But originally, I think Seth was going to do that. Be a
Yeah, because
defending champ.
he kept on defending the title every single week, which was stupid. I understand
Yeah,
for him to wrestle on on TV, but him not. I mean, even well, but even though some of the oh crap, some of the champions didn't wrestle itself. I think the like what is the last time that Rhea wrestled on television? Really, super rarely. What's the last time Logan Paul never wrestled on television? Well, only that one time. But
yeah.
Gunther even he rarely wrestles too on TV now lately. So, but he does show up
Okay,
every week.
okay.
So
Let's ask you a question then. This is just
okay.
personal preference, right?
Yeah.
How often should a world champion, any world champ this could be, in wrestling, how often should they defend on weekly TV?
On a very special occasion or a very crazy, super crazy occasion. Just in if like they had if they never like I think back to last year when Rhea faced Natalia on television and that I was there for. I was and because they wanted they were going to do the match of the night champions last year, but they didn't do it. They just for some reason they decided to not to just have Rhea attack Natalia, then do the match on Raw, 2 nights later, which I was there for, and so it's
Yeah,
just it. And now why they decided to do that? Maybe because of time, I guess. On that pay per view. So I think that's the only exception I can have for a champion to defend the title on television if they don't really have enough time to do it, or they rather have time to do it on pay per view.
yeah.
So
So I
yeah,
agree. I think this should be done first. What you said though, special occasions, right?
right.
Unless you can't get it on the pay-per-view. That's how I think a champ. That's what Roman's done. He's done that. He's built it to special occasions, maybe even rare than that, right? But
Even more rare, yeah. So
yeah,
I think
but when you mentioned Cody, you mentioned a bunch of names he could work with, right? But
yeah,
for those, I see given away on weekly TV, like example AJ Styles. I don't see them building an AJ Cody to pay-per-view, or
right.
even a Braun Baker at this stage. I don't think the match is pay-per-view. I think they'll give away that on SmackDown. Even though I think he'll be the guy to dethrone Cody at the end, possibly. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't want to see. Yeah, the first defense might mean something, but I think haven't you heard Cody say it? Like, even Seth is saying it. Workhorse champion, right?
Yeah.
If Seth didn't get injured, he would have been a workhorse champ. Now I think because that injury, and Seth's probably going to slow down a little bit because of his back, Cody's still in perfect form. Could you imagine 3 times out of the month we get 3 championship matches? I'm sorry, but that's way too much.
I just hope that I hope Cody Rhodes, if he does become champion, he'll do very something similar that Becky did. Becky never defended the title. She rarely even wrestled on television for the most part. She did, but she never defended the title on television. But she did wrestle here and there. But for the most part, she just cut promos every single week. So I think that's what Cody should be doing. Just cut promos every single week and be in doses of matches on television, whether it's in a tag team situation or a singles match. It's just a super rare type of thing to be in the ring for matches. But for the most part, have him just cut promos and have him interact with whoever he's going to be feuding with in the next pay per view is what I would accept.
Yeah, and
Type of thing
that's
now.
the way it should be. That's the way it should be. But my concern is because how many times have you heard them say workhorse championship over the last couple of weeks? Because I've heard it a
Yeah, a
lot.
lot. Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
That makes me think Cody. Because what Cody's trying to do, he's trying to do it like some of the wrestlers of the past, right? But I'm
I
as
think that's
old
a
school as they
terrible mistake.
say that again.
I think that's a mistake.
Agreed. I'm old school as they get, but the world's changed, and that is not the way the title should be defended today.
Yeah.
That is why I think Cody's run is going to fail very quickly. Because the way what they're planning to do doesn't work in today's day and age. I mean, you're younger than me. You're more in touch with things than me. Do you think a workhorse champ works in today's day and age with the bigger audience, and not necessarily yourself, with the bigger audience, like the global audience?
I mean, I don't think they're going to be all that excited to see Cody Rhodes defending the every week on television. If they do that, that'll be a complete no. They need to have him just have him whoever he's going to be feuding with, have them do the feud, and then focus on their feuding with each other headed to the next pay per view. About how long if it's being Randy Orton, if it starts at SummerSlam and it ends at like Royal Rumble, they can go back and forth with each other. They want to have Rhodes to wrestle sometimes on SmackDown or whoever's the title's going to be on. Then do that and then save the ready matches on pay per view, but they can still feud with each other. In very do similar things with your champions like you usually do, and not have them wrestle every week on television. That's what I want. That's what I'm
Okay,
used to.
even if he doesn't wrestle every week, I still reckon we're going to see him once or twice a month defending on weekly TV, and then you got your pay per view.
God, I
So
hope not. I really hope not. If they were smart, they would just only save it for pay per views and not do it every single month on television. I don't like that at all. I really hope they don't do that.
okay, something I just want to go back to them, right? Now, I did mention Cody and The Rock, and I know you said you don't want to see that, right?
Yeah.
If they were to do that match for the title, let's say Cody wins, like within 6 months, we said he gets boring. I know I've said they're probably trying to do it at WrestleMania next year. Uh, what pay per view do you think would be the best place to put that match? Keeping in count Cody could get boring, keeping in count the Netflix deal, where would you get that match?
Within the next year, if it happens next year, maybe even like Royal Rumble, maybe or yeah, Royal Rumble or if they end up having the chamber in some other special event like they have it in Australia, then maybe even the chamber as well, depending on what if it's going to be a stadium show, whatever. So I think that's probably what it is. Maybe yeah, if it's for next year, evolving this year, that's I don't know. I don't they had the Bash of Berlin show in Germany, so maybe I don't know, maybe there, but probably. So I don't know. So but if you talk about next year, that I would say either before Royal Rumble or if not WrestleMania itself again. But I don't want to, but I don't want to see that neither. So
Okay,
Cody
I'm
should face someone current on a roster.
I'm, I'm thinking you've got to give Cody a Rock quick because I do think Cody's going to be so boring in 6 months. That's why I keep
Possibly,
going
yeah.
back, that's why I keep going back to Backlash France. Give it there.
Sure,
Let the match
sure.
be. Yeah. I mean, do you think it would be a big main event for that show? I think it would be.
Yeah, yeah. It would be a big attraction match to do. To do that, they want if they want to, and then they could hold off for everyone else, and they could hold off whoever he's going to face at Money in the Bank, and then of course SummerSlam, and then that Bash of Berlin show in August. So they can. So yeah, sure, why not?
I mean, again, none of this might not happen. It's just what we think. Uh, Cody
Sure, yeah,
becoming now the moment. Let's just talk about the moment if he wins that title. Um, I think it will be one of those moments that go down in history. Um, for Cody fans, I think they're gonna. That's a moment they're gonna remember when he wins, right?
yeah.
It also makes me think, with Code being so popular, do you think he'll make the 2K game next year as well to cover?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, you think that's
I,
it?
I, I don't.
Don't-
I
Okay,
think that'll be it, at least for a
okay.
while.
One more scenario I just want to throw out at you, and it's something no one's really discussed anywhere. I haven't saw it yet. Is what if Seth screws Cody? I think Seth's boring his face anyway. Why not?
Yeah, I mean and he's still pissed off that he lost three straight pay-per-views to him. Still, I would just say he said he's somehow okay with that still. And I think him getting his win back, which he should a long time ago. I've been thinking about that for a very long time. I think Seth should definitely get his win back from Cody Rhodes because he got screwed over and he's all buddy buddy with him for no reason. Have him, yeah,
Yeah.
just he needs that win back.
They could also use they've got the story he's beaten 3 times. They could also use the story he didn't choose Seth. He chose Roman, right?
Right? Yeah.
What are the chances you think Seth's gonna turn? I think he needs a heel turn anyway. He's boring.
I think, yeah, I don't know when, they plan on having him turn. I don't know if it's gonna happen when he loses the championship, or are they gonna do it, before, or him still as champion at this point? Maybe he should, but then and that's even if Cody loses at WrestleMania, and then because I still think though too at the end of the day he's still the champion, so what does it matter type of feeling if it's from Seth or if it was from Reigns. They want this guy to be the champion, so
Yeah.
just I mean, really, will they really be upset if he's the world heavyweight champion? I doubt. I don't think so. They'll be all, I don't know. He's still champion. Is that what you wanted? So
No. That yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying Seth just screws him. Cody's not champ. Cody loses to Roman because of Seth.
well, if that happens, then fine. Then it might. And if that happens, then in my mind, um, don't have him in a world championship at all, because it clearly the company does not want this guy to be the champion because they keep screwing him over and over again. So Though you clearly don't care for this guy to be the champion, and stop presenting him like a main eventer because you don't want him to be the champion, and you put him in these scenarios to have him get screwed over and not have him be champion. Then don't, even if he feuds with Seth and Seth is still champion,
Yeah.
then I don't want to. I just don't want to see that. I'd rather see them. I do want to see them face each other, but not for the championship. Just I would be non-titled at that point.
Okay. Okay. One more thing then. Along the road, obviously, we wanted to do this podcast a week ago, but we needed to hold it off till the match was confirmed, right?
Right.
Now, along the way, things have changed already so many times, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are plans might change again and we might not even get this tag match? It might be something different.
I think they're gonna still do it. I don't know why would they would change that. They, why promote something and they already have the posters and everything. It's like, I think it's gonna happen. I don't think they would change it again. I don't know why they would. After they teased it for for a while now. They already have a poster out for it now. At this point, I don't think so. I think it's going to stay. I don't know why they would change it and into what. I think they should just leave it alone. And
The only,
because honestly, it's a month away at this point. You can't. You only have this month to promote WrestleMania. So you're gonna have to just stick to the plan that now. You can't go back. It's not like they made this match back in January. They just made it last night. So, and it's a month
yeah,
away till WrestleMania. So just go and just do it and move on.
okay, fine. Uh, I was thinking the only match that could change it is Rock versus Seth, but after hearing out everything you just said, you're right. It just wouldn't make sense to change it. So you're right. Okay. Uh, I think we've covered everything. Am I missing anything?
No, I think we did it all. Yeah, talk about every single scenario that could happen for WrestleMania and then beyond again, and we'll see what they'll do
It,
for next week and be very intrigued what Drew McIntyre is going to say to Seth even more. I don't know. It's going to be really fascinating. This the whole the Drew aspect of it is fascinating because it's like it's just be like, man, what are you doing? Because like I said, I'm sorry, yeah, Seth and Becky are so focused on not their opponent. Like I said, Becky's so focused on Liv Morgan, which is really annoying, and also Nia Jax. And Seth is focusing on Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and The Rock, and here's Rhea and Drew are just, well, Rhea's just shaking her head saying why, and it's like she's just like, well, you can do what you want. I'm champion. I can do, if you want to screw yourself, not be in the match, then fine. So Rhea clearly doesn't care, but Drew does. But I'm like, why do you care neither? If you're gonna be the champion by Rollins being distracted, then I don't know why you care neither. So it's gonna be just an easy night for both Drew and Rhea, as far as I'm concerned. If both Becky and Seth are too focusing on other problems that doesn't concern them. So
okay. I agree. A lot of what you're saying, I agree with. Um, Drew, I just want to go back to that a second.
yeah.
Obviously, now that the match has been accepted, do you think Drew opens up Raw, acknowledges it, or do you think he just ignores it and focuses on his own match on night two? What do you think?
Hmm. I guess either or. They're gonna. I think he's gonna try. I think he's gonna stay focused on his match with Seth Rollins because he doesn't have any. He doesn't really fully care about The Rock and Roman at all because he's not involved. He's just worried about being the champ. He's trying to get Seth to focus on it, but I still don't know why he cares of Seth focusing on it. He cares about it. He's been, maybe because he wants Seth to stay focused and on him and not focus on anyone else, and maybe because he wants a longer match. Maybe, I don't know. I've WrestleMania between himself and Rollins, and he doesn't want to be like a one and done type of thing, which I don't think it will. But maybe that's it. I don't know why. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. And one more thing I just want to touch on, I've just thought about quickly. Um, Cody, let's say he becomes champ, he's having a run. I think the minute CM Punk comes back, they're taking that belt off him. Or do you think not?
I
I
I
know
don't
it's
think
on
so. I think
Raw.
they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go straight. I think he's gonna go straight to Seth Rollins when Punk comes back.
Okay, so you think Cody will just be? I mean, forget the draft because we don't know. Just keep it as it is. Do you think Cody will
Yeah, I
just
just
move
think.
over to SmackDown?
Yeah, I think so. Because if Punk comes
Okay,
back, I think he'll go straight after Seth Rollins when he comes back. So yeah,
okay,
or even Drew
but
McIntyre
I think Drew.
actually.
I mean,
So
the thing is, I think if Cody is the champ, he's going to want to set the bar right for
yeah.
what a world champ should be about. But Raw's going to be doing the exact same thing, workhorse champ. This is another thing why I'm against it. You don't need two titles doing it two champs doing it on both shows. Okay, we'll find out what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see where things go from here. What's going to happen? Can it get any more bigger? Do you want to say anything else?
Well, I was just say I am personally am in favor of having um the champions be on television weekly and have them feuded with who's currently on the roster. That's what I like. I don't like the absentee champions that are not there weekly and taking a lot of time off. It just makes the show not terrible, but listen to me, and that's not all that interesting. I lived through that with Roman Reigns, and I'm sick of it. So I'm ready for week the champions being there weekly and have them feuding with whoever they're going to feud with heading into the upcoming pay per views. So that's what I personally like.
Yeah, so I think, and you did touch on this earlier on, Cody can be there, cut promos, but limit the matches, right?
Right? Yeah, That's all I'm saying. Less matches, but more appearances. They could cut promos. They could just show up on television. You don't have to wrestle, but I do want them to be on television weekly. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and I think by having Cody, we will get that. But isn't that what Seth's doing already?
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fine. And that's what and that's. But they just don't care for his character. I mean, if Drew was champion, they would care for his character. They care about his character because it's different and it's more interesting as a heel. As a heel, I mean, it's like if you're a heel and you're there weekly, you're interesting, but you're there weekly, but you're a heel. If you're a baby face, it does. I guess it depends of who you are. If you're someone that they really I like I think back to again, I always think back to I think back to even Alexa Bliss as a heel. She was a heel and she was champion for a very long time, but she was there for weekly. But she was there every single week. Um, Becky Lynch, same thing. She was a baby face. She was there weekly, and but people were sick of her. But she's a heel last 2 years ago or 3 years ago in 2021, and but she was there weekly, but as a heel. So I guess if you're a baby face, people don't care much about you too much. Um, they care about you a little bit, but then they want to see something different type of feeling. That's how
I,
people are.
I
Fans are
get what
fickle. So,
I get what you're saying, and
yeah,
I think Drew would be a better choice than Cody, just because everyone's more focused in the story, and we're gonna have two
right.
We're gonna if Cody gets it, we're gonna have Seth on one show, Cody on another show doing the same sort of thing. So you definitely need a heel, or you just don't give it to Cody at all, which we've discussed deeply. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how things go from here. There is so many scenarios, and probably loads of scenarios we didn't even think about. But I am pumped for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Um,
and like I said before about if McIntyre decides to leave, he's still Damien Priest. He's a heel still. He could be a top heel champion as well. Of so that's why we talked about Priest last week, but that's still an option. So that
but
they
even
could still consider.
Priest is getting to the point where he needs to cash in soon, right?
Yeah,
And his first feud might be with Cody, or they might have Cody win then lose via cash in. It's
Right.
it's interesting which way they're just going to go. But then it's like you said, they give him a story. He's got the story. He won the title. Then just have Damon Priest take it, and
Yeah, as
and then
well.
I'd rather have that, to be honest. And then Cody can still do his thing, and Priest can do his. Okay, Kyle, we'll see what happens. I will wrap this up now. It's been great talking to you, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for joining.
Okay, yeah, thanks to you.